I did it. We're going.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa. And now enjoy the beautiful sounds of Soul Eater Dazzle Resonance. I feel like if Smiley were to join right now, he would immediately leave.
He does not enjoy Soul Eater Battle Resonance.
He doesn't. It's so
okay.
cool. I think it's awesome.
I have no strong opinion.
It's anything.
Of course, you know that I thought it seemed slow because I have anime fighter scenes.
Yep. And also that game was released only in Japan, in 2009.
Yeah.
And it's not good, and I like it. There are worse games.
Oh, for sure.
There are worse fighting games.
Oh god, yeah.
But it's pretty bad. I know.
Yeah, hi. Hi.
I have 3 pieces of sausage.
Oh, fuck yes.
My last 2.
No.
Oh my gosh, hi! So good to see you.
Hi.
I think you're the first person to use the follower emotes that I made.
Yeah.
I made those, and I don't think anyone noticed.
I noticed before.
Well, that's because I told you. You were there. How are you doing
Look,
today?
it's a little Stanley face.
Do you love the sounds of Soul Eater Dazzle Resonance for the PlayStation 2?
You know, I can't deny the appeal of the soundtrack.
It's so good. You're gonna hear another track in a little bit. The tracks are really long. But it's okay, because I'm eating chocolate.
Wow.
I like that it just loops. Like, the track is 7.5 minutes long. No, nearly 8 minutes. But it's just the same. It's just the same like 2.5 minute track, looped like 4 times. They didn't need to do that. Objection. What are you objecting to? What's wrong? You're hearing my TED Talk! Your beautiful mind is beyond anything I've ever heard. You know, it'd be cool if Twitch had, like, built-in emotes for games. Like, if you're using the game category, it'll just automatically give you, like, 5 emotes for that. So, like, Ace Attorney, you'd have, like, objection, and like, stuff like that.
And Miles Edwards got on the floor.
Miles Edwards got on the floor, Miles Edwards standing up. Phoenix's, like, goofy smile that he does when he's nervous. and then not guilty with the confetti.
Yeah.
That's
I
all
love
they
that it's
need.
canon that that's Gumshoe.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like if they did that, it'd be funny. Even if they were just like submitted by people. Cause you know, there's some games that nobody cares about that people play.
Right.
Like when I seen Fossil
Mhm.
Fighters, I would sit down and I would submit a bunch of games for Fossil Fighters. That'd be awesome. But nobody else would. But I would. It's such a good song, but it's so long.
Yeah.
We have 2 minutes left. I could skip to the next song. It's easy as a press of a button, but I don't want to because I like it.
Mm-mm. We can listen to a whole 8-minute track.
I could listen to this on loop. It's already looping, and I could listen to it on loop. In fact, I think I did have the game open for like a decent period of time just on the title screen. Because I'm sick. I could also cut the tracks down, I suppose. That would not be hard. But right now, you all deserve the full.
Hmm.
My Doom Orb. I love when Goom makes an orb.
Yeah.
The end. Time for another. Hi, Zag.
Hello? Hi?
Zach, hi.
Hi,
Hello.
Zag. The ritual. Anyway, check this out.
Holy
It's
shit.
so good. They didn't have to go so hard. But they did anyway. They did it for me. Hi, Zag.
Yeah.
Hi.
Did the rituals succeed? Yay!
I forgot I was muted.
Do you like the sounds of the later battle resonance for the PlayStation?
No, I'm not watching Goom.
You're not
No.
watching Goom.
Now I am. I have to make sure the ritual succeeded before I could Goom.
So good. We don't have to listen to the full 6 minutes of this one. Unless I decide that I want to. Then we will. We're just waiting on Smiley.
Hmm.
And we'll play games.
What?
Why?
I just found out about Affinity in Monster Hunter Rise. That's folks.
What happened?
But I found out about Affinity in Monster Hunter Rise.
Ah. Yeah. It's good for you. Gummy.
Well, this weapon has a -20, so I don't think that's good.
Well, I'll tell you a secret. You can raise your affinity in many ways. So even if you have a weapon with negative affinity, you can still have positive affinity. But also, if you so choose to max out your negative affinity, you can get a skill that will flip it. So like, if you have like -80 affinity, you can get a skill that'll make it positive. And then you'll just be crazy strong.
Well, I can't even make that weapon, so it's not even matters.
Also, negative affinity isn't that bad. Because like I said, you get affinity from other places. I love Monster Hunter. If I could stream Monster Hunter on this computer, I would do it every day. I would never play another game. That's not true. I would play less. But I would still do that.
What was that?
Sorry, I
think it
was
was a sneeze.
distracted. No, I was
Oh.
scratching. Really funny.
That's what I thought it was, but it was really funny.
I'm dancing, by the way, in case you didn't know.
Wow.
I'll imagine it in my mind.
Now a song from a different game.
That true?
Yeah.
Do you promise?
Mm-hmm. It's one of those songs that hurts me because I'm dying a lot when I heard this song. They killed me a lot. From the first game, right? No, this is from the second game. Second game is easier than the first game, so I wasn't dying that much. Now this song going on too long. Song taking too much time. Going forever. I have to skip it. I have no choice. It was just way too long. It was already at 3 minutes. That's so many. This song could go on as long as it wanted and I wouldn't care. This song could be 6 hours long and I wouldn't mind at all.
Fuck yeah.
PC Ball! Hi, Allie.
Hi, Allie.
Hello.
Smiley said he would be here in a second, and then I mentioned the later battle resonance for the PlayStation 2, and then it's been 5 minutes.
Uh-huh.
He'll come around eventually. He'll understand.
Hmm.
He'll understand my beautiful, twisted mind. very high stakes music for waiting for Smiley. This is the music that plays when I'm knocking on his door. And I'm standing out there. Just like a calm, like breezy sunny day, and then just standing out there and this is what's playing in my head. You're crocheting right now.
Ooh.
You need the hype music because it's very hype thing that you do. You're doing something of utmost concentration, and you're participating in the act of creation, and you're making funny shapes and colors. This is necessary. This is necessary music.
What you making?
Yeah, what are you making? Making a phone case. That's pretty awesome.
Ooh, wow. I didn't know you could crochet that. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. That makes sense.
You can crochet anything.
Mm-hmm.
You can make anything in the world with crochet.
Right now, I'm laying under a cool blanket that my mom made for me by crocheting.
Wow.
My favorite blanket.
Family friend of mine likes to knit, and I think she also crochets, but she mostly knits. Made like this really big blanket for my mom, like because she likes it. She likes knitting, and then that was like 2 years ago. Over the weekend, like about a month ago, she was like just brought another one. My mom was like, why did you do this? And she was like, I got bored.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a couch to keep her and a bag strap. Oh, okay.
Ah.
That makes sense. I think crochet is awesome. I tried to learn how to do it, and it was doable, but I was like, I don't think I can do this. Like I could, but I was like, ooh.
Yeah, it wasn't your thing. You ended up doing it.
Smiley!
Smiley!
Hi.
Hi!
Hi!
You made it.
I did.
Now we can play games.
You didn't have to wait for me.
I did. Have to hang out with me or else. I'm kidding. I can switch to the things kind of patience that I'm not good with, but thanks to those long YouTube videos. Yeah! I think if I had like if I had the skills down pat that I needed to do it, and I could just like lock in, listen to music or watch a video, I'd be good. But getting to that point will take too long for my liking.
What are you talking about?
Crocheting.
Crocheting. No, Jasper crochets. Yeah, I've been meaning to learn because my mom does it, but I don't know, I just haven't been into it as much.
I have to stop the Discord stream and start it again because we found out that it doesn't work if you just switch it. It doesn't like that. And now we're ready to go. With hopefully the end of the game.
Specifically, it's you.
Just with me?
Yeah.
Can you hear it now?
Yes.
But
No,
yeah, I don't know why that is.
I don't know why it was muted.
Alright, February 25th, 9:47 a.m. Court Defendant Lobby number 2. This is the defendant lobby, alright? But there's no defendant. For some reason, I thought he was, like, lost. Like, he said, this is the defendant lobby, alright? But I thought it said, this is the defendant lobby, right? With, like, ... I was like, you've been here several
Me?
times.
He gets lost sometimes.
He's been wandering around the courthouse all week.
Yeah. Trying to reach Lena all morning. Where's Emma, for that matter? Almost seems as if something's been happening behind the scenes. Hey, are you also reading Phoenix's mind? Edgeworth!
Phoenix just thinks out loud.
Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 7777777 ID number is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt on this ID record. That number does belong to whom you suspect. No doubt will reign. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True. Not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling on the defendant. 5 minutes after the trial starts, Lena will be found guilty. But she didn't do it! I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here. Hear what you have to say. It's the first time you've ever done something like this. Lena's hiding something. The only way we'll ever know the truth. Draw it out of her. The truth. Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the... Depends on you.
Me when I'm in court. Me when I'm on trial.
If she's found
You're
guilty...
not about to worry about the past.
If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. Trying to bargain with Edgeworth like, hey man, don't just call for the ruling right away, even though you know you can. You in court, right? Good line. This is it. If we're going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. February 25th, 10 a.m. The courtroom number 9. Plan. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. Huh? But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. A great. And
He's proposing to the judge.
yes. Whoa.
Wow.
I didn't know you could do that.
Ugh,
Just like
teleport.
materialized. Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, Yudgy, been back to the pool lately? Oh, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, exactly what is this proposal of yours? Gets down on one knee. Lana, that is to say the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. Wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble.
You can go up there and be like, I did it.
People in
I
Ace
killed that
Attorney
guy.
love to just be like, hey, I know how court usually goes. Can we do something different this time?
Yeah.
No, not how it works.
Or the defendant goes up on the stand and it's like, I did kill that guy, and you have to spend the next 2 hours trying to prove that they're just lying.
Right, you have to just be like, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you
Don't
didn't.
kill that person.
Not guilty.
Stop.
Go see therapy, please. I killed him, yeah, literally.
It's like you didn't kill him, stop saying
Or
that.
confessing to a different crime. Like,
Literally, it's like, not what we're here to discuss.
literally just got, like, the not guilty verdict. And then Edgeworth just, like, hops onto the stand and he's like, actually, well, I didn't kill that guy, but I did kill this other guy. My dad.
Next go up like,
It's
yes,
wait, wait.
I am the one that shot John F. Kennedy. Like, that's not what
Literally.
you're
That's a different trial. You don't have
You
to
can't
say
just
that.
say that.
What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request and I'll be finished. You're gonna request the death penalty? Like, what are you doing? Well then, what's your request? Just use the bathroom.
Yeah.
Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial.
I
Huh?
didn't do it.
I didn't
Bingo.
do it. Goodbye.
Evie.
I confess to all charges against me. On February
Ah.
31st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman
Lana, stop.
in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office.
I have committed every crime.
In the
No,
world.
later. She's like, I did all of it.
I killed this guy, yeah.
You can't. Your Honor,
You shan't.
the defendant's claim does not change the defendant's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. She wants to go home to heaven or whatever. She wants them to kill her. But Lana, Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. I don't think you can do that, can you?
I
Prosecution
don't.
may lack direct evidence against
Probably
you.
not.
I think.
Yeah,
I mean, you could
probably.
fire your lawyer. You could like fire your lawyer and self-represent, I guess. But I think they only let you do that in civil court.
Yeah, and like, I think if you already have a lawyer, like, I don't think you can just like
I don't
halfway
know.
through be like, I don't want a lawyer anymore. Like, I don't know if you can just do that.
I got no clue.
But it has sufficiently
I don't know.
proven
I
its
don't
case.
work in the legal system.
I don't live in Ace Attorney world. I can't say for sure. But it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please.
There is a court ruling that says a criminal defendant may not waive his right to counsel or plead guilty unless he does so competently and intelligently.
Okay,
There
so
you
it
go.
is allowed.
Not what she's doing right now.
Yeah, you can't just be like, I did it, kill me, please.
Not what she's doing, so she can't do it.
But in Ace Attorney world, probably.
And
Well,
Ace
the-
Attorney, anything goes in court.
Exactly. Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. The request is legally valid, although this is unprecedented issue. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial. Even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. Can't be happening. It appears the
It's
time for the
so
verdict is
hard.
Can't be
arrived.
happening.
The court finds the defendant. Objection. My favorite verdict. One moment, Your Honor.
Not a verdict.
Edward
She
is like,
competent.
I'm not gonna win this trial by you getting up. That's not fair. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Remix. Any ruling at this stage can certainly be premature. Come now, where is he? I understand this is a
right
difficult
now?
time for you.
In court?
But why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut?
Okay.
He said, I do not want to. I don't think I care for your tone.
I love
Yeah.
when he does the clearly you don't own an air fryer boost.
Yeah! It's so funny.
Literally, he looks like that meme that's like, huh, I don't need to taste your potato chips. I've
Yeah.
already calculated their
No.
flavor in my mind. Could use more, what are-
A little more sodium chloride.
Use a little more
There you go.
chloride next time.
Yeah, he does. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With this sudden
I'm a
confession
naive
from the
adult.
defendant, I'm a naive adult. Obvious to me, some kind of deal was struck. Kind of see. Some kind of deal. Not everyone operates as you do. Or... I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh? To whom? As its first witness, the
Your Honor,
prosecution
it
would
was
like to
in the
call
sky.
Miss Emma Sky. I request the court hears her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue. I don't
She
care
wants
what
to
you
go
think,
ahead.
Miss Sky. She literally Literally does.
She wants to go to the kingdom of heaven right now.
She wants to go see Mia.
Give up. Oh,
Oh, that's sad. Don't say
Yeah, that is sad. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be
tragedy.
an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from
And Ruth is like, I know what you're fucking on about. I'm not letting you do that.
it. Very well. The court shall grant the prosecution's request. Also, Edgeworth has experience with this because he literally did the exact same thing last case.
Mm-hmm.
Objection. Everybody stop
did
saying
the-
stupid shit.
He did the exact same thing 2 months ago.
It's like, I know what you're doing.
I know what you are.
Not allowed.
I know what you want.
That's okay with you, right, Cheap Gant? Worthy, you'll live to regret this. Mark my
Big blue
words.
Blue eyes.
Not if you're
Wow,
dead.
what an ominous statement. Thanks
Yeah,
for
right?
saying that in front of everyone.
Also, his
Thanks for
eyes are
saying that under
extremely
oath.
green.
He said, "I'm gonna fucking kill." He's they look blue on my screen. Maybe it's just the
No,
way
they're
they're
like
like
green.
They're kind of tealish.
they're kind of tealish. I think it's the way
Sure.
that
Google.
the
I'm
Google!
not having this debate.
Yeah, go to the
No,
Ace Attorney
I
wiki.
think it's just the way that the like it's pixelated on Discord stream. I think it's just
Oh
like
yeah,
kind
maybe.
of blurry,
I
making
mean,
it hard to see.
there's also Ace Attorney is like notoriously inconsistent with eye colors too. That's why you'll see a lot of art of Phoenix Wright with heterochromia, because they have given him many different eye colors throughout the years.
Oh,
His
that's
eyes
awesome.
change color,
Yeah.
okay? They change color on depending on the lighting.
He has the Eno
His
eyes are
CDD
green.
eyes. Those are green.
He's got the USTD.
Anyway, Miss Emma Sky, please take the stand.
Well, I'm still sending the people with blue eyes picture.
Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Looks like
Oh, wait,
Edgeworth
there's
knows how to ride a horse.
Probably.
Never mind, I don't need to. There's a people with green eyes version.
Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Why are you scared? It's just Emma.
Sorry,
It's just a
Zach.
16-year-old girl. Calm down.
No, sorry, I got jump scared because Zach sent a very high quality picture of Damon Gant doing his white people smile.
What? Wait, I didn't...
That's from the HD remake.
It's scary. I don't like it.
He literally looks like that fucking picture.
That's frightening. I don't like that one bit. Anyway,
The
this is Emma
smooth
Sky.
portraits of the HD remake are unsettling.
My occupation? I'm Lena's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct? Yes.
You met the killer.
I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though. Sorry. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Edward, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant?
Yes, so now shut the fuck up and let me do my work.
It most certainly is.
Zach's
I
attorney, we have
a
to talk
court
about
case
every
from
court case
even
that's
longer ago was relevant in literally the last trial you judged
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
So
But presumably he's doing like divorce proceedings and stuff in between criminal trials.
No.
Well, okay
I
then.
don't
The divorce trials go exactly the same way all the murder trials go too.
You sure gave in fast. Now, please testify about what happened to you years ago. The world around me go black. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial.
Yesteryear is one of the strangest words I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's a real word, but it is a funny one. 2 years ago. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
That's fucked up. You can't do that.
Pretty messed up.
There's a law.
It's a good thing you weren't harmed. I passed out. I don't remember much. That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder?
Nothing. He just wanted to talk.
He says
about
I'm getting there. That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. He literally said, I'm getting there.
Said, calm down. Damn.
You've got to admire him for his
Fucking
courage,
patient.
considering he has no evidence. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination.
Allegedly, he has no evidence. You don't know anything.
That's what you think. 2 years ago. Alright. Ready in his office that day. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct? Yes. She was a second-in-command under Chief Detective Gant. My sister was the best detective ever. Yes, I remember. Detective Gant and Miss Sky used to be quite the pair. I believe they shared the same office. That's right. I always sit at my sister's desk. I dreamed about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day, too. The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day. Lana promised to take me to dinner and after she finished her work. Man came running in and took me hostage. A man? Yes, Joe Dark. He was a
Joe Biden.
serial killer.
He was Joe Biden.
Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. He saw his chance. He fled the room, right? Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Sky in Gant's office. There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him.
The creature.
The creature. Neil Marshall, right? What was the prosecutor doing there? That day, there were 2 people present during Dark's questioning. Detective Damon Gant, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Gant was there too? Yeah, we already knew that, Phoenix. I don't know why you don't know that.
I was also there.
Miley was there too. Neil Marshall had
was
just
there.
received the King of Prosecutors Award. Neil Marshall had just received the King of Fighters Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assumed that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark. When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead. And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in. I don't clearly remember what happened then, but I'll never forget what I saw that instant. Can you tell us about that? Marshall jumped on Dark and then the lights went out. Lights? About this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby. So the electricity went out? Wait a minute. It was pitch dark in that room. Couldn't have been able to see anything, right? Right, but just then lightning flashed outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the sea in my mind. The sea. I told the detective about what I saw then. The detective? Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. Detective Bruce Goodman, victim. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago? Yes. That's what's so scary about this trial. You told Detective Goodman about what you saw? Yes, but at the time, words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture. Picture. I think she mentioned that before. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? I would like to ask about the picture. This picture the witness drew. I believe it has a very important meaning. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Witness, do you mind if we added this statement to your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost. Am I supposed to just present the picture right now? Like, is that just... I'll press it, but like, I'm pretty sure I have it. It's with me in my pocket. You drew a picture of the scene you witnessed, right? Yes. I wanted to do everything I could to help the investigation. I can still see it now, whenever I close my eyes. That's strange. I took over the case after Prosecutor Marshall died. But I never received any picture. Perhaps the witness is mistaken? But I did draw it, I swear. I'm not just imagining it. Picture that Emma drew. Reminds me. Guess I should check the evidence again. Well, anyway. Continue. Seeing that it's imprinted an image in your mind. Please describe it to us. Man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. I'm not too worried about that right now. Check this out.
Remix.
This is it, right? Check this out. Mr. Edgeworth.
Media.
This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you still insist on denying its existence? Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. That's so funny. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold. The evidence was the SL9 incident. Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over. Turn it... Ah! What's this? Yes, what is that? Hey, that's it.
This
That's
is
the
me.
picture I drew.
If you zoom out, you'll see that it's actually the other guy's one.
Indeed. Two men appear to be wrestling here.
Yo.
Your Honor, I think they're doing
What's the
more
meaning
than
of
that.
this? What are you doing with that list? Me? Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. Huh? These lists, they're different from each other. What?
That was
It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other. You see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in the case ever reached you. What? What? He had never considered this in his life. Order, order! I thought the picture would have been drawn on the back of the list. That was handed to Detective Goodman in the questioning room. A minute. This list was torn in half, and that means... Your Honor.
Legal
You all right,
bludgeoning.
Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head! If the evidence list was torn in half, there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Guess that's quite conceivable. Edgeworth? Possible. See.
Yo, he's beatboxing.
Something
The
wrong.
Edgeworth could be.
Even have to ask. Shaking. Sorry, Your Honor. There is something drawn on the back of my list. This is that thing. Oh my god!
Oh god!
Turn it off! Turn it off! Turn it off!
Oh,
So loud!
It's
They're
all
already
right,
playing the music on the game! And it's not even at the right speed! Oh god. The return.
To be it out.
He's
awesome.
back! The Blue Badger. That's that thing.
That animal.
That thing that was dancing in the evidence room. Apparently the head of criminal affairs used this for his blueprint.
Why?
I guess he was out of scrap paper.
I don't understand his beautiful mind.
The evidence list has been
Who cares
updated.
about evidence?
Can I please look at the whole thing, like, together? Will they let me? Oh, no, just...
Wow.
Like that I have to turn my head to look at
Yeah,
it.
I wish they'd let me turn it. I'm
The
like
blue
You don't
badger
need to do that.
entirely sideways. I guess it's the blue badger. I don't know.
Who's
That's
fucking-
scary.
The blue badger killed
As he
that
moved
guy.
and just scared me.
That's the Joker.
That's a Joker.
That's the Jester.
Very well. Witness. Please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago. Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor.
Sir.
What's wrong with Emma?
Damn, I don't know.
Thinking about something when she saw the picture.
Oh god.
Are you okay?
What's happening to you? Are they killing you?
No, I fell into the ravine.
Oh, classic Zag. Always falling into the
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright all I could see was shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw that instant. Think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind. That, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw. Well, I don't see any contradictions here. Clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder prosecutor Near Marshall. How do you know that? You can't even tell
Clearly.
who they are! The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Picture I drew 2 years ago. You draw this picture right after the incident. I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything. During that time, the detective team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gant and Lenna Skye. 2 or 3 days later. Memory should have still been fresh in her mind. Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black? The flash of lightning was so bright all I could see was shadows. So at the time you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to the rescue. No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, I was knocked to the floor. You were knocked to the floor? Dark had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around. That's when the lightning flashed. Poor Emma. Glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed? After that, I must have fainted. You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place? No. I'm sorry. The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. I've done this before, I know about it. You really need to torture this girl any further. What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. Trading lines. Anyway, this picture shows exactly what I saw that instant. Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw? Of course, this is the exact scene. Wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with detectives? Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright? No, of course not. Better watch out, or he might find some way to cut my salary. I drew this picture before I heard anything from detectives. I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me. Mr. Wright, there's something that's bothering you about this picture. Huh? Oh, well... strange. Claims exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. Yet, there's clearly a contradiction. Oh god, they're gonna make me present evidence.
No way, really?
I don't even know what evidence to present.
Orion, when he's playing the presenting evidence game. Oh god, I can't believe me present evidence right now.
Flash of lightning was so bright all I could see shadows, but I must have fainted. Picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. But what about the rest of the picture? Is my question. I'm gonna save because if they get mad at me, I'll be upset.
Not important.
I'll cry and I'll cry and I'll cry.
Did you also draw the blue badger?
I want to ask if she drew the blue badger. What if she didn't? Then what?
Mm.
What about the blue badger? Did you know that?
She did draw the blue badge.
Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement?
Your Honor, League of Legends.
I'm not sure I follow. I thought... Be quiet, Phoenix. We don't know what we're doing.
Who is we?
Me and Phoenix. True. True.
I'll give you a hint. They literally told you what statement you're supposed to present it on.
You did?
Yes.
When?
In the discussion.
Well, this last one, is like, something's bothering me. Says that she drew what she saw, but did she really? And so, like, I think it's this one. But I don't know what to present.
Look at the alphabet.
Think about the picture. Look at it really well. Look at the details of this image. And think about what happened in the moment of the crime. Give me another hint, I'll tell you.
I'll consider it.
I think you got this stuff.
Huh?
But I think you got it.
It says he was stabbed in the back. But that doesn't... This doesn't look like someone's getting stabbed in the back.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm so smart. Even if it takes 3 hints. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew seems a blatant contradiction. What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday. Mr. Wright? Perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. Part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report. God, I
Remix.
can... I don't really know what to point to. It's just that he's, like, facing this way.
Maybe like the guy.
I want you to know that everybody was telling you that doesn't look like he's stabbing his back. That is incorrect. You can tell because if you look at the knife swing, it's going to swing out to his back. That's not the reason. That's not the reason why the picture is wrong.
I didn't want to say it, but
What?
He is going to stab his back.
If he was gonna stab him in the chest, he would be grabbing the other shoulder.
the guy is
Like,
facing
like-
away,
Like by
and
grabbing
the angle of the knife, he swung down
Well,
into his
Jay
back.
agreed with me.
Or like grabbing the right shoulder.
And I told you
when
no.
he's like swinging down, it's gonna like
Trust-
move like the stomach away. Oh, it's fucking confusing. I don't even remember what the actual answer to this one is.
Trust
I do know
Zach
what
more
the
than you
answer
trust
is.
me. Trust Zach more than you trust me because Zach is smarter.
Yeah.
Do you want since the answer was different, do you want a hint?
Yeah.
He was stabbed once and they found the knife tip inside him. So think about that and look at the picture.
I mean, the knife is like crudely drawn, but I guess it doesn't really have a tip to it. That's something.
Yeah, sorry, I was yawning.
The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. See, they always do stuff like this, and I'm like, what if it's just a bad drawing? What if they just didn't know for sure how long the knife was? Like, why do we have to be so...
Look at this graph.
Like, I don't... Like, I don't want to be the person that's like, oh, well, it doesn't look like a knife to me. It looks like a broken knife. No, it was drawn by a 14-year-old girl. What if she just didn't want to draw a knife? She was
You
traumatized.
just watched the man die. She can draw a
Literally.
rectangle.
Look closely. Tip is broken. In fact, you don't even have to look closely to see that. Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. The murder weapon? Tip is broken too. If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body. It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma. Edward said, what do you want about? Huh? Where could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. The victim was only stabbed once. The murder weapon should not yet be broken. Ah. Meaning of this. Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand.
What's all this horrible?
Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, then it couldn't possibly wind up there. That's right. What does this mean? The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The possible explanation is the witness' memory is mistaken. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time. But she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. Not so fast, Mr. Edward. There is another explanation. Forgotten already? Got a little something called falsified evidence. You're treading on thin ice, right? Edward said I'm gonna kill you. Watch what you say. All I'm saying, this broken knife, a piece of evidence, was forged. Can't deny the possibility. Oh.
No.
Order. Who's saying the investigation really was corrupted? Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place on the day of the murder.
League of Legends.
Your Honor, League of Legends. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King's Prosecutor's Award from the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gann. During his questioning, Joe Dark led the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. I believe that somewhere in this story, there is a lie. I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife. That's true. There's no other way around it. Could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife. What are the chances of there being two broken knives? Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's. Has there been one? What do I have with me? Anything
Items.
special?
Do.
Anything cool? What if it was the screwdriver? What are we gonna do then?
Think about it.
There's another knife. Definitely. The witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw. It can't just be explained away with by a simple observational error. Right.
You'd be surprised.
That instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. I assume then, you have some information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us. The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. Only one way. Take a look at this. This is a real murder weapon. Oh god, you're just gonna make me do it.
You know what? You know this. You know this.
I know this?
You know this.
Yes.
I promise.
I have a screwdriver.
Look at, observe. Keep going.
Not a screwdriver.
No.
Ryan!
Observe the screwdriver? You want me to observe the screwdriver? I have another knife. Not broken.
Not that. That one's not broken.
I have a
Where
hint.
else?
I have a funny hint
Bro-
if you need it.
A funny hint. Is that gonna be helpful?
Maybe.
I
Okay,
think it might be.
go for it.
Look at this photograph.
With the photograph, I have a
Every
photograph.
time I do it makes me laugh.
Oh look!
Go
Oh!
on.
Oh look! You
I
see?
just wait, but do I have to present the picture?
Yes.
The other shield
it's
does
not
not
on the
have the
actual
knife
one
on it, so.
anymore.
Take that! The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Right here inside this picture. The picture of the award ceremony.
Literally
What
me
is
when
it,
I see a
Mr. Wright?
picture.
It's the broken murder weapon. That is the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding.
Look at this award.
That's broken knife. It's a sword, idiot.
Or
As we earlier concluded, the knife in the picture is not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood this award. Order, order, order! Joe Marshall was awarded the King of Fighters that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and a broken knife. Chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out his knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation. But that can't be. Oh, and why not, Mr. Emperor? Because if the King of Fighters award his knife as the murder weapon, the murderer and the victim would have been reversed. What do you mean? I mean,
Clearly, nobody would grab somebody else's trophy.
no. This man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh. Oh. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. The prosecutor was the one who actually died. That's true. What's going on here? Seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions.
Seems that Mr. Wright is a fucking idiot.
Wait. I remember now. I remember everything. Goodness? Edworth,
Oh, I'm excited.
what is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please? List? One with that picture scribbled on the back? I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it. She did draw the blue badger. What?
She sure did.
You drew that?
I told you.
That's
You
right.
drew that? That's awesome. I love the blue badger.
The list wasn't torn in half at the
That's
time I
crazy.
drew this picture. All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away
The
deep
blue
inside
badger
me.
did it!
Perhaps it would be best to add this to the witness's testimony. Please tell us what you recalled, Miss Sky. Yes, Your Honor. First the knife mix-up and now the blue badger? This should be interesting. And his recollection. I saw that man raise his knife. I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the
The
room.
creature.
I'm sure I saw his shadow. The judge is like, you forgot all that? This is certainly most unusual. Try impossible. Head detective of criminal affairs didn't even find him until this year. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago. Yes, well, the defense may now be in its cross-examination. Stop. Please, don't pursue this any further. He's like, you're going to figure out that I did it. Lana, what's the meaning of this? You remain seated in the defendant's chair. But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that?
Because we can't just accept you saying, yeah, I did it. Don't worry about anyone else who might have done it.
Chief Prosecutor
Not that they
Scott.
usually care about that.
We've already come to this far. Too late to turn back. Silence. Defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
Whack his pee-pee.
It seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. Yeah, I could tell when they played this scary, testimony music.
Pursuit music, the pursuit theme.
The pursuit theme! I saw that man raise his knife, and rush towards both of them. Why would you do something so dangerous? What else could I have done? I was about to stab Mr. Marshall. Vincent Dark was the one holding the knife. But as we've just theorized, Marshall was the one holding the knife. Well, I didn't know at that time. That Dark guy knocked me down. All I could think was, I gotta help Mr. Marshall. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. What do you mean, you think? It all happened so fast. I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. But I did. It's all kind of a blur. In a matter of just a few seconds, Miss Sky was almost killed, and then she witnessed a murder about to take place. A little disorientation is only natural.
Emma, did you kill that guy?
I saw the man about to stab the other person, who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife. What you did was very brave, young girl.
If it wasn't Officer Marshall, though, then it was fine. It
So
was
then?
okay to kill whoever that other person was.
So then, what happened next? Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger.
The Blue Badger did it!
Are you sure about this? Of course, see? Even drew a picture of him here.
Never trust the guy named the Blue Badger.
But the head detective of criminal affairs thought up this hideous beast. That was just this year. Badger didn't exist to you. It's all quite verifiable. Now it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him before somewhere. Now I finally remember. Oh, brother. But you thought that thing caused enough commotion. Tell us. In the room did you see him dancing? He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
The silhouette of a Blue Badger.
His shadow? So you mean you didn't actually see his face? With a winning smile and all? His winning smile? That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns. Waiting for Gumshoe to call
Oh,
objection
yeah.
from the ceiling. Objection, he's not creepy. He's my friend. This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be
What's
mistaken.
that attitude?
That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did. Oh, I suppose you have an explanation? If so, then by all means, please show us what this shadow really was. I already know it. I already know it. I already know it.
Are you ready for the hardest part of this stupid fucking trial?
What? What was the
What?
end saw when that lightning flashed? Who is the Blue Badger really? I just might know. Blue Badger hadn't even been dreamed up and never drew this picture. She's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the Blue Badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room.
The Green
Wright.
Badger.
In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw in that instant? To show us this mysterious Blue Badger look-alike. It has to be this thing, right?
Can you play it?
Yeah.
Oh, come on!
Yeah, I'll
Yes!
play when he does the mini game.
Into the minigame.
The fucking.
It has to
gonna
be this,
torture
right?
him.
Definitely is, right?
I had that shit stuck in my head this morning.
Here, just present, Orion, just present it.
No,
Orion,
I'm
just
like
present
looking at it. I'm like looking at it.
No, you're getting ahead of yourself.
No, but I know what it looks like. I see it. It's right there.
Oh,
Blue Badger.
God.
Remix. It sounded like he said, "Take that back."
The mysterious blue badger was in fact this. But that's... what exactly is that? I believe it's some sort of jar. You're right, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger. Indeed it doesn't. And now it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Welcome to the Nintendo DS. Our viewpoint? I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. I like that they're showing me the video.
Playing.
Okay, I forgot what he looks like.
By the way, Orion, you should make a save state.
Right
at
now?
this point.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Well, not. You can't. Not in the emulator.
Nick, you're hurting me. I'm trying to have a conversation.
Nick does
Make
not
a
give a
safe state.
Oh god, I don't want to do
Just
fake
make a safe
ads.
state with the
Saving me.
emulator. It's not fucking hard. Remix.
They're like combining.
This is painful.
Like,
Why are you doing this to me?
medley.
Take that. No. Turn it off, please.
What is that?
Turn it off, please.
Yeah.
Remix. Remix.
What was that?
That was a remix.
Anyway, is this a miracle or what?
Remix.
Remix.
No one can
It's-
possibly
it's
deny
like
this
the
jar's
Blue
resemblance to
Badger.
the Blue Badger. No. It can't be.
No?
Blue Badger is among us.
The blue
Order,
badger.
order. Defense has proven its claim. Curious Blue Badger witnessed on the day of the crime is actually this. Why did you guys make me do a safe state? Why'd you say it was gonna
Well,
be
it took me like
difficult?
5 fucking tries. To do
Why?
that.
It wasn't
Yeah.
hard. You just had to make
Yeah.
the shape. It was easy.
Don't
That
listen
was
to
the
me.
easiest
Okay.
part of the game.
Fuck you. I'll condemn you to 500 years of blue badger if you say that
No.
shit again to me.
Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question. What's your point?
Extra fucking damage.
You saw it. Weren't you listening?
What do you mean?
What's your problem?
That Badger thing was actually just a jar. It doesn't change anything.
It changes everything. You
Nuh-uh.
don't understand.
Nuh-uh. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. Steve,
Wrong.
this changes everything. Very well then. Please tell us. Different now that we know the witness saw the jar. God.
That the Blue Badger's in real.
It was in the same location, so that's not a problem. The murder weapon and the murderer. Oh god, I don't know. We already knew that the murder
The
weapon
blue
was
badger was the true murder weapon. All along. He killed that guy.
the
The blue
murderer.
badger.
It's the murderer.
Yeah,
Allow me
you're
to
right.
take these
The
in
blue
turn.
badger is the murderer.
Moment of this murder, she saw this jar. Not only that, but she saw it at a very specific angle. Doing this, where could she have seen the jar? Where? Location of jar is shown in the picture taken on the day of the crime. The shelf in the office naming Gant. Body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. Witness testified so herself. Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. E. The struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Gant's office. Are you implying the murder removed the victim's body? From Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office? Yes. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion, that there was a reason. Know what that reason was, Mr. Wright?
Your mom.
I finally figured it out. Atlanta tried to stop the trial. Too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what sent the jar flying? That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, may I draw your attention to this picture once more. The man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on. What would he have hit? Ah! Suit of armor! Holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword. Yes. Since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, it would have had to have been Neil Marshall, put in the prosecutor's award. Oh. Right, you can't be thinking. You've never thought in your life. Yes. There is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room. Another possibility. Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless... I don't know if I can go through with this. Right? What's the matter? Events took place as the defense theorizes, and the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Stein knocked away was actually busted into a Marshall. And then he died. I really liked that animation. It's funny.
And then everyone died.
And
And then the blue badger blew up the courtroom.
Whoa.
you mean the Marshall
The
died
stab that had to happen.
because of... No! Traumatizing this poor girl. But
Oop.
Oopsie.
I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So it was the witness who took the victim's life, then proved so with her own testimony. It's unprecedented. They drug her out of the courtroom. Lana's like, please stop. What are you saying? Sorry, Miss Sy, but in the circumstances... Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her? Imagine that coming from you.
Owned.
Owned.
Oh.
Recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it? I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. You hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations. I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me.
We literally have proof.
Do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall? The evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't. Yes, it certainly wouldn't be difficult to prove this without evidence. If you don't have evidence, we'll have to rely on testimony. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. Certainly can't get dead people to testify. I mean, you can, but the people that help you with that aren't here right now, so...
Yeah, they're kind of busy.
It's all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Touché, Miss Sky. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility.
Unfortunately, your mother.
And there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. Better or for worse, Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. Somehow. That's impossible. Well, Mr. Wright, it's the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? Gotta think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind. And the evidence, I'm sure. I have this. Has MSK's prints on it. This message from the seat is already in our possession. Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer? No, but I'll save the game again. That help?
Does that make you feel better? Does that make you smile?
Does it make you smile? Happy?
Does it make you laugh?
Make you play? Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is not to accuse them of any crime. There's only one thing. The truth.
Your mom.
Your mom. Oh. There's only one thing we seek, your mama. No matter how painful it may be. Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from a parking ticket. I can't imagine it would be anything else. This is the message from the deceased. Right. Now then, the message from the judge. Oh. Guess that wasn't right.
You just got owned.
It was funny though, he did it in a funny way. Why am I connecting the chat? What's wrong? Are you sick?
OPS is always sick.
OBS feels fine, but Twitch was having a moment.
Yeah.
Anyway, we will not stop at anything to prove that your mama.
Was it the chat in Twitch? Fuck, the chat in OBS? Or...
Yeah. And nothing else was doing anything. Let's try again. He got blood on it. Wait, didn't there like letters or something?
Does you see letters?
Letters from your mama. Got him.
No.
I wish I could
Fucking
see it.
Ryan, use your beautiful mind.
The base can't be the evidence again.
What if it is?
This guy doesn't know anything about his attorney.
Mm-mm.
The only other thing I have from the past.
Obviously,
And then
you wrote it on
this.
the Blue Badger.
Remix.
Maybe.
It has to be that, because then why would Gant like hide it forever?
Well, actually, it's a screwdriver.
Oh, okay.
It's actually Edward's knife.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
It's the blue badge.
Your mom.
I think it's. No,
and
it's not.
bad.
It's Bruce Goodman's shoe.
This is that blue badger from before, right? Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name? That thing could, I'm sure it would.
Everyone fucking
Looks
hates
like
that
everyone's
thing.
forgotten that this is just a jar. Message was left here. Surface of the jar. Team. Look closely. What are you doing, Jay? Nick?
Oh, sorry.
What?
I was fanning myself with a fan.
Yeah, I can tell.
I didn't realize
Sounds
it was
like
getting
it
picked
sounds like
up.
you're holding your phone out the window. Like in a car. That's what I heard for like a minute.
I
Anyway,
didn't realize.
if you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. Looks like someone wiped the blood away. Yes, but notice. For some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away. There's a line here drawn in blood. What you're saying is these dots are once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. Used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away. Blood must have seeped into the jar when lines changed directions. Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points. Are we gonna play connect the dots? The victim's message will become apparent.
Yeah.
No. Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us? Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will go to us the end. Gotta connect these dots to make letters. And one thing the victim would have written. The circumstance. Murderer's name. Connect the blood traces. Whee!
Yay!
Wow. Don't you love using your Nintendo DS touchscreen, Orion?
I do. My real one. It's a defense attorney's duty to prove his client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma. This is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. I think we could have also used the blood stuff, the luminol, but whatever.
The luminol.
We wanted to do connect the dots instead. Of all people, he may not have
You gotta
meant
let
it,
Phoenix have a little fun with it.
but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Skye. Excuse me. Be worthy? Can't say I didn't warn you. Hey man, you can't. You understand the implications of what you've done. What?
No.
Talking about.
Not
2
really.
years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. Convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in that case, were you not? Back. Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Well,
Hang on.
not really.
New
quite.
evidence does not. Well, I mean, like,
So
He's
Yes.
is Joe
still
Dark
very
not
much a serial
a
killer.
serial murderer? What is your
as
far- Not only that, but you used forged
mean-
evidence to ensure his conviction. Also, this was all his
Technically-
idea.
Technically, he got arrested and tried and killed for the murder of Neil Marshall, which he
That's
did not
true.
commit.
Right.
That's true.
Whether or not he did other murders.
Yeah.
Probably.
Not only that, but used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. yeah.
Again, your idea.
Yeah,
Average
it was
piece,
literally
man.
him. Joe Dark really was the serial murderer. That's undeniable.
Is it
I'm
not?
afraid that's not important. And you know, we aren't defenders of justice. What? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death, no light matter. Even if there wasn't a cover-up or evidence forgery, ultimately the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, the fact cannot be denied. He's so annoying. What's going on at the prosecutor's office? Had to send an innocent man to his death. How can he just
It
stand there
happens.
like it wasn't his fault?
Oh fuck!
You good over there?
You good?
No,
Did
I
you
dropped
say
my Lego grimace.
Did you say
It's
shark?
blood in the-
That's what I heard
What?
too.
Not like
I
you said,
didn't
oh,
say
shark.
I
What
didn't
did you say?
shark either. I dropped my fucking Lego goober. Not what is that bastard's fucking name? The
Grimace.
Groucho Montgomery,
Oh.
the Eater from Ghostbusters.
What?
The
Slimer?
Green Grinner.
The green
Slimer.
gulper.
How could you forget Slimer?
I didn't forget. I forgot his fucking name.
He's made of slime. He slimes
Yeah.
Well, now
people.
he's made of Legos.
Not anymore.
The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows.
Headed to
He
your
continued.
mom's house.
It's headed to my
Oh
mom.
no, it's dead.
What?
That Nick sent a picture of it.
Of Slimer?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Oh,
very
it's so sad.
Slimer is in
Oh.
peace.
I'm dead. I'm dead Slimer.
Slimer, speak to me.
Alright. It's been 2 hours and we're now in the defendant court, the defendant lobby. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. My problem, not yours. You're always
Like,
saying
whatever.
I
that.
didn't mean to get your ass killed.
He's always like, whatever.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. What's up,
Hi,
Gumshoe?
Gumshoe.
I
Hi,
really-
Gumshoe.
Gumshoe, you're never interrupting.
Literally.
Actually, yes,
Gumshoe, we
you are.
love you and appreciate
Oh.
you.
Yes, I am. I'll come back later. So sad!
No!
Oh,
It
Detective
faded
Gumshoe, what is it?
away.
Well, now we're good again. We feel normal.
Are we live?
Welcome back.
Not in real life.
Wow.
Hi. Wow. Welcome back.
Nick is still streaming Shorts, the game for the Nintendo DS.
Hold on. Well, let me beat the fucking level so I can save first. Ryan, did you know the name of Ryan? Did you know this character is named Loogie?
What?
It won't.
like
It won't focus. But I promise his name is Loogie. This is right here in this yellow rectangle.
I
believe you.
can't even see it.
Look at my
Okay.
score.
I believe you.
Thank you.
Alright, well,
Look at my
save your
buttons.
game, boy. We got Ace Attorney to play.
This is a fucking Nintendo DS. Actually,
This also is a Nintendo DS.
Uh-huh.
amazing. I have Alvin and the Chipmunks on there. I can play that. How do I stop? Okay.
Stop.
How do I stop?
Okay, so I guess I could just go from the chapter start and start over. Or I can go from the point that we just were, but
I think you probably save point is probably better.
well, I don't know if you guys even saw
Attention all, attention any, my Tamagotchi has taken a fat dump.
Hi! Hi! Yippee!
I don't know if you
That
guys
is what
know
it said
what
just
line
now.
there was that like happened at the end.
Gumshoe came and then he
He
whoa.
did
Whoa.
He did what?
Hey.
Don't say
Gumshoe
that in front
left
of my
me said, "Oh,
Tamagotchi. He's only a year old.
sorry." Gumshoe said, "Oh, sorry, I'm interrupting, aren't I?" And we were like, "No, Gumshoe, you're not interrupting. You're not interrupting."
And then he left forever.
And then
'cause
Phoenix
your
was like,
computer died.
"Oh, Gumshoe, come back!" And then it froze. And it froze on the
It
screen
froze
where he was
on.
coming back,
That's when it
but he
froze?
was
I thought
not
you were-
there.
Okay, well
I
then
thought
you
were
guys
just
missed
waiting.
a couple things.
I thought you were
So
just
then
waiting
we'll
for
go to
Gumshoe
the
to come
chapter
back.
start.
I thought you were just so sad that he left. He faded away.
No. Twitch is having issues, which is why the chat keeps on reloading, and then as we learned like probably over a month ago, when Twitch has issues, my computer gets scared and it turns off my Wi-Fi capabilities. I have to restart my computer and then use the troubleshooting feature to turn it back on. And then it's
That's
okay.
That's so strange. I have not been having any issues with Twitch.
Well, sometimes it has issues.
We
I'm
need to
playing
get
8-ball.
you. We need to get you good wired internet and a good computer.
That will never happen.
I said we. The
That's true.
collective marsupial.
Entity.
The Orion My Ryan fan base.
The Orion My Ryan fan base. We have
Oh,
to.
you guys like my stream?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow. Sorry, I'm still playing 8-ball.
Stop playing 8-ball.
I'm busy.
I know your ass is
Stop
losing.
winning! Stop winning!
You're the one who was
Alright.
like,
That was
you're
my
not
club era.
surviving.
Ryan, either stop.
I never
fucking playing
said that.
ASOL,
I
or
just
you
said you're
need a
not ready
stream
for it
key
because it was
so I
funny.
could show people shorts for the
Yeah, you
Nintendo
need to give Nick your
DS.
stream key so he can play shorts on the stream.
Alright, well, now I'm done my turn, and I'll wait until.
I'm gonna start streaming Exfoliator
Do
Battle
not.
Resonance live.
Do not.
on
That's for me.
Twitch.com.
That's for me. Anyway, this is the dependent lobby. There's no one here. Wait.
Can I play
No, this
Able?
is the beginning. I have to go back to the save point.
Mm-hmm.
It took me to the beginning of the thing.
Yeah,
I don't
what do you
know
think was
why.
gonna happen?
Yes, that's why
That's
I
what
told
No,
you.
I thought
chapter
I thought
start.
that chapter start was gonna. It says trial ladder, so I thought it was gonna be the second half of the trial, but it wasn't. Or it was, but it got weird.
No.
Anyway, Gumshoe came back and he said, "You got a lot of nerve. I'm a detective, and they're making me do stuff." And then Phoenix was like, "Oh, I guess Lana's making him run errands."
I mean, you could always go back to the save point in the Nintendo DS that we're playing this on.
That's really
That
That was
though.
really far away.
That's true.
That was the.
I mean, I
Goku
could.
Badger.
Don't
Why
do
not?
that.
Why not?
Oh
No,
my god.
no, it's fine. Just give us
Oh.
a summary. No,
Please.
Just
no,
give us a summary. You don't
no.
That's all that
that.
happened. That's all that happened. You didn't even say anything important.
I'm
Okay.
leaving.
Why?
No.
I'm leaving in half an hour. You don't
Oh.
remember?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here. She asked me to give you this. Wait, she asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial.
It's a
Evidence
comic.
law. Edward was talking about this. What are you doing? Stop. Edward was talking about this
What do
just
you
the other day.
mean?
Someone made a sound. I think it was Nick.
Nick is always making
Nick
sounds.
just makes sounds. It's fine. Deal with it.
Must
smile.
know the two rules of evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department.
Look what you did. Made me
Is that
leave.
right, Mr. Wright? Seems so. You could at least study some evidence law, really. Chief Prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. Message? He said, if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book. And I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. Securely slipped evidence law in the pocket. Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the Chief Prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, Detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat? Despite all these allegations being thrown at me. Mr. Edgeworth. The real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility's been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. And Sky found out she unwittingly caused the man's death. And now, you're telling me you wanted more? You gotta be kidding me, pal. Missing the point, Detective. Leonard didn't murder Detective Goodman. He merely stuck a knife into his body. Into his dead body. Is that a dead body? That means the real killer is still out there. What?
He's still out there among us.
And we're going to expose him. No matter what it takes. Cases hurt too many people. Time to bring it to an end.
I heard a rubber chicken.
Sorry. I was fidgeting with it.
No, never apologize for it.
Never apologize.
Good lord. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. What does this book say? Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Rule 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case in trial. And that's it. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. The Inquiry Committee has planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes,
He said, I
well,
don't give a
Thanks for telling
fuck.
me that.
normally this is where the prosecution calls for the witness. But, cough. This isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that Mr. Edgeworth may have, struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses. I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking, and Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call for further witnesses. What? But there's never been a case example. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edward has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it's
Wow,
settled.
they're getting married.
Literally. The defense may now call forward the next witness. Mr. Wright, you do realize this is your last chance. If you called the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. Which is why we're saving the game again, because I don't want to do the wrong thing and get murdered. Don't kill me. The defense calls. Time's finally come to bring out the real murderer. Oh god, they just give me the whole page. That's so funny. It was him! It was Bruce Goodman! Come on out, Bruce Goodman. Angel Star didn't kill anybody. It's not them. Not Jake Marshall, he wasn't there. It's not Meekins. It could be. Not Gumshoe. It's just Damon Gant.
Meekins killed everyone.
Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand. Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything? As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. All right. Bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this, some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Gant. Fine. My name is Damon Gant. And he's the chief of police. Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. I'm getting 1,000 text messages from Zag.
Stop playing
Zag, you're
8-ball.
distracting him from streaming.
Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor?
During the stream
I'm not! I'm not! Zag's the one that doesn't want me to not be playing because it has to leave soon.
I typed you. You can look at those messages later.
Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already.
Shut the fuck up.
There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what? Like the role you played in all this. Son, either you're very brave or very foolish.
He's the latter.
I like to imagine it's both. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Sure.
You can't have weapons.
Take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, this turns out to be a big waste of time. Don't say I didn't warn you. Very
Can
well.
you shut the fuck up with your threats?
The witness may now begin his testimony. SL9 incident. I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either.
Remix.
When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. That when Dark was arrested. Him? Lying on the floor unconscious. And Emma sent Neil flying. Seems Dark bumped his head. Gee, everything seems pretty clear-cut. Police chief has the right to refuse to testify. And I'd better hit him hard and fast. Okay.
Okay.
Yo!
Alright, man.
Alright.
And we're questioning that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. What'd you do? The two of you ran immediately after him, right? That's right, but Dark made it to the elevator first. So Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say, got lucky. What's this about a power outage? Oh, that. The elevator stopped all of a sudden. I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil when that knife went through his heart, though.
I thought he was gonna make a joke about Edgar being traumatized in the elevator.
Oh my, if he did, oh my god, he'd be done. That's not funny. I went to my office, I found Lana there. Could you tell us what you saw? It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor. Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls, Lana and Emma. Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. How can you know that? Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved. So that means... You found the body near Lana's desk? That's right. I think you said earlier, it was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor. Yes. Anyway, as you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. You're saying the forgery had already taken place by the time you had arrived at your office? That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt. Removing a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable no matter what the circumstances. I hate to break it to you, but you've been hiding evidence for 2 years. And I don't like you.
Funny that you say that.
Is that how it really went down? Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright.
We kind of broke into your safe and we found some shit.
If you're going to stare at anything, you'd be better off staring at the court record.
Oh. Boo!
Well, I wish I could look at the evidence list on the front. That'd be cool. Hope the trial is going good as leave for a bit. You picked the best time to leave because everything broke. The switch threw up and it made my computer scared and I had to restart my computer.
Yeah.
Most of this stuff is not relevant to anything right now, which is good. Good and fine. I like it. However, that makes it a little bit more scary. Can't see picture, autopsy report, incident file,
Remix.
Linux. Don't want to know about the cloth. I don't know what's up with that. Worthy. Always the smooth talker. Which piece of evidence ties Gant to the forgery? Lana did admit to forging evidence. That can't be the whole truth. Somehow I've got to link Gant to the incident. I mean, we found the paper in his desk drawer. We found the piece of the
Mhm.
pot and the leather cloth in his safe. So like, that's something. Guess I'll just present this. You really had nothing to do with the forgery. And how do you explain this? What's that? And what's that on it? A handprint? Chief Gant, your explanation, please. I don't know. You tell me, son. Huh? My dear Righto, don't you know? Second rule of evidence law. Uh-oh, not this again. Evidence law. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case and trial. Tell me, how is that rag relevant to this trial? It appears the defense was not prepared. It's too early to use this piece of evidence. Man! Please accept my profound apologies, Chief. Would you mind giving the defense another chance? Well, okay, I'll do it just this once. But only because you asked, Dudgy. Thank you. I assure you the defense is terribly sorry. Yeah. Sorry I didn't nail you.
Yeah.
Yo, what?
Hey, sorry you didn't do what to him?
Don't worry about it.
Well, what did he say?
Well, I still have the evidence list with all the evidence on it. So I'm gonna do that instead. And also I'm gonna save the game, because if they get mad at me, I'll be sad.
This is a good point in the case to do a lot of save scumming because Damon Gant is a bitch ass motherfucker.
I understand. He had nothing to do with the forgery except look at this evidence list. You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery.
Sorry.
And I'm afraid that is a
I
claim you
gotta
cannot back
leave.
up.
Have fun killing this guy.
Explain yourself.
Bye.
Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this list, for example. That's the list Emma Sky drew the picture on. Discovered in your desk. Not only that, but a piece of this jar that was sitting in your office was found inside your safe. It was found where? You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. Chief Gant, what's the meaning of this? Oh, here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. That's kind of like their thing. I don't know if you noticed.
Yep.
So you admit to it then, that you were involved in the forgery? Who, me? What do you mean, you? Me? Why would I have anything to do with that? Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Righto? He said you'd not talk about my boyfriend like that. However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured Dick will receive his due punishment. What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. Yes, well...
Oh, you mean that shit that I'm doing in a semester?
In light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office. What are they doing to Dick? They're gonna kill him. They're gonna fire him forever. Rude to him.
Somebody get fired.
And the relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put 2 and 2 together. It's 4, idiot. Shut up already. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me in any way.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Wright, Yes, Your Honor. When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You do understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Oh. Indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know. Alright, Audrey. In return, though. I know. That place, right? Huh?
Yo, what?
What are these guys telepathic? What are they talking about?
Now what is going on here?
I scroll to the end and there's just an option that says, can we talk about what just happened here? Well, I know you could have planted them in my office. I'd appreciate it if you'd stop making these ridiculous allegations. Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have these guts to do something like that. What? Well, if you know, back in the day, I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped... Mr. Wright, what are you saying? Anyway, you can't prove you didn't carry that evidence in, did you? If you have proof to the contrary, you're going to need it later. Later? What are you talking about? What else? I'm talking about when your fingerprints are found. Yes, they're found inside my safe. They would prove your investigation was legal. I've never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. Maybe I can. I mean, we used an ID card to get in. But that doesn't really tell us when they got in there. Because we could have just brought them with us. So that's not really anything. What do you mean by that? This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act
Riddle me this.
wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery. Concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery. I'm not through speaking yet, Mr. Wright. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered at the initial investigation? It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Dark was sentenced. Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient? Right? The Chief is talking about a possibility. So long as you can't rule that out, your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time.
You think I'm clever?
Tell me something I don't know. Come now, Mr. Wright. Think about it.
Wait, what?
There's no reason I participated in a forgery! How can you look me in the eye and say that? Because I'm innocent. Remember? Who was it that murdered Neil? Not sure I care for the word murder here. But in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Skye. Well, now do you see? Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there is one very large benefit you'd reap from all this. Oh? I wasn't aware. What is this benefit? That would of course be the position you have. Chief of Police. Oh. The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is a sufficient motive. Oh, that's a good one. Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 really sped up the inevitable a little. Is that true, Edward? Yes. He was going to be made chief anyway. Ugh. Be careful when pointing that finger. You might wind up getting one pointed at. So that
Or
means
you might end up being the one fingered.
there's only one possible motivation
Sorry
for
for
you to
saying
commit
that.
forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There, it's out in the open now. Audrey, would you mind if I change my testimony a little? By all means, please do. I wouldn't be anyone's
I just
accomplice.
really think you
There's
have a
nothing in it for
conflict
me.
of interest.
Nothing in it for you? Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again. Right. You don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. That's a good one, Worthy. There had been something in it for him. Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Point out accomplice. Good God.
It's very obvious. Just
I
think
just
about
wanted to
it.
look at the picture again. I mean, I know that him and Lana were like partners, and they both got promoted at the same time. But I don't know what would be in it for him at that point.
I'm trying to think of like how do I hint without telling you, so I don't know.
You'll find out. You'll find out.
Yeah.
Orion has it.
I got it.
Hmm.
Sure, you might not help
Yeah.
us, anyone for their sake, but if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Right? It appears you're positively determined to portray the chief, which is why we're going to save the game again. What a good idea, Judge. You're so smart. My friend Udgy, who tells me anything. As a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. That's not what I mean. That's not what I said at all. Very well, I'll ask. Who is this person you believe Chief Gant may have helped forge evidence? Lana? That's... Or Goodman. But... Wait, Goodman was the... detective in criminal affairs who handled the SNI case, not the prosecutor. He might have helped Lana. Who was also a detective. Good God.
What is happening to you?
What? Are you good?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like stuck between Lana and Goodman.
I'll let you know right now. Goodman did not benefit in any way from the situation.
Oh. Well then ask me Lana. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky. The defendant? I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed Chief Prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant. But how would he profit from all this? He would be able to use the Chief Prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he could acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. You mean to tell me that despite the Chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? Man. Oh, wait. You must mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind. Admit it,
Glad you
Chief.
figured it out on your own.
You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence. Your motive to appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her. Righto, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Lana... I'm quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Scant. I'm afraid without any proof, this is all amounts to nothing more than just mere conjecture. Unless... that is also what happened in this incident. This incident? Which one would that be? Of course I'm talking about... the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor had been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Just what do you mean? The judge is like, wait, that sounded like a threat. What do you mean by that? What he means, Your Honor, that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover his involvement. What? What? I like that he's the one who said what and then order. That's right, you can't be serious. Huh? This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in your law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder? That's, impossible.
Again, don't you think you're biased?
Yep, Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edwards said in easier to understand language. It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. Looks like he's the one who decided to go through with this. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the chief, a higher-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder? Good question. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. I see. Alright then. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. Just remember, it better be good. Then. Oh. The murder. Wait, I have the ID card record. Do you want my ID card record? Yummy to you? That's the only thing I think I have.
ID record.
What?
An ID card record can be something so delicious.
I think that's the only thing I have that's actually related to the current case. And has his name on it. So... This is the ID card list. Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 777777. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number. ID really stands for incredibly delicious.
So,
Literally.
fucking true.
Exactly. It's your number. Just straight up, music stops. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code. 7 digits? You don't mean... I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 77777777. Same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. His eyebrow. Order. Chief Gant, what do you have to say? Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulation. And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished for the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you. But the use of this ID card. Chief Gant, So you admit it? You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. What about it? I'm chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom, what's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room. Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with me that day, would he? Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days. You hadn't seen him in days? Chief Gant, I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Landeskai's guilt. No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. Amen. Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime. Then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting? In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime. I have this. They were supposed to be cleaning out the evidence room that day, right? So he had to go to move all the stuff. And he wanted to get the stuff out of there.
Hang on, I just flashbanged myself, so I can't say anything or help you. So I can't see the screen.
It was the SL9 memo that Goodman had on his person when he was in the car trunk that says February 21st, SL9. That's what I got. Does that sound good to you? That sounds good to me.
Do whatever you want. Happy 6 p.m.
Happy 6 p.m.
Happy 6 p.m.
I was saying that this note that Goodman has, he was supposed to go to the evidence room to move all the evidence to like the long-term storage or whatever, because it was the SL9
Yeah, but
thing
that doesn't prove he went with Damon Gant.
It's true. See, I want to be like, oh, the evidence locker or the rubber glove, but like he didn't have to open the locker. He didn't have to be there.
He did have to open the locker.
Yeah, but we didn't. Gant didn't say that he was going to get Goodman's stuff. He just said that he was in the evidence.
Oh.
So talking about the locker doesn't bring anything up. I don't know.
I'll give you a hint. This was an item you got like at the very beginning of the case.
Yeah, this is a very
irrelevant until this moment.
Seriously?
Yep.
Yeah, think from like the very beginning.
My attorney's badge. We found Goodman's ID on the ground, which what's his face? Marshall like threw it on the ground out there after he used it. Wait, was Goodman at the prosecutor's event? Like the...
I have no idea.
No, because he's a detective. He wouldn't have been
I don't
there.
know. It's not relevant.
Edward's knife. Parking stub. Blue badger. Goodman's autopsy report. Note. Cell phone. Not floor plan. And photo. See, the victim's shoe has the blood on the bottom, but that's because he got killed there, but I can't prove that that was Gant.
Do you want another hint?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember how you said that Jake Marshall had Goodman's ID card?
Yeah.
What happened with the ID card before Jake Marshall used it to go inside the evidence room?
He didn't have any more, and then he was doing the missing item report. But then he ended up getting in anyway because he didn't get a new ID card, so he had to have gone with Gan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I need to present the ID?
No.
Right, the missing item for it. Okay, I'm not doing it this way, it's incorrect. To be submitted
Zach,
to
you're
the
so much
chief.
better at hinting than I am.
Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the police. Yet you are in possession of that report, which means you can't be sure he filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needs to enter the evidence from that day. The two? Yes. Transfer the evidence out. Oh. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gan. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him. There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman would have entered the room. Hold on. Let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the chief of police, murdered poor Goodman. Yep.
You said
Exactly.
it, not me.
But wait. The chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort. Edward said, I'm gonna kill you, old man. Sorry. That's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. But you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. No! He is turned into the Lightning Man. Chief Gan, you didn't. The murder was most likely committed on the spur of the moment. No one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why else dispose of Detective Goodman's body? However, the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How did we manage to move it there? I was at the police department the entire day, you know. And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except for me, it seems. Bill, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey you, take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Gan, you left all the evidence we need. Prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time I thought it was a useless clue just taking its space. How could the chief have moved the body? Right? Show us this evidence. Move the victim's body. Chief can't use this. Well, he put it in Edward's car, I know that. Screwdriver.
He used the Blue Badger.
He used the Blue Badger to move it. The only thing I have is the car, because I know that that's how he got from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I got.
Yep. Body in car. Car.
I don't know
was
how he
there,
got it
car
from the
went.
evidence room to the car, but whatever. This is how you move Detective Goodman's body. A parking stub. House Edgeworth. You mean the body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. mean I carried the victim's body? Precisely so. But wait, even you know, I didn't plan on returning to my office after the ceremony finished that day. But you did return. Tell me, why? Ah, I know why. I was asked to go, by Chief Gant no less. He told me he wanted me to keep a screwdriver at the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the incident, I brought this to the prosecutor's office. You see, what you really took to the prosecutor's office wasn't the screwdriver, but the victim's body in your trunk. Detective Goodman's body, carried in the trunk, Mr. Edwards' car. Yes.
Was that ever in question? Oh well.
Unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edwards to carry evidence from the closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Skye. Order, order, order! What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to prevent these outrageous accusations? Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. This was exactly the opposite. It's a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Again, please say something. I believe your time's up. My time's up? Sorry, Righto, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're going to make it in time for the early bird special. It's already like 2. But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons. Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. What? It isn't that a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. You're going to just run away after all this. Run away? Don't make me laugh, Ruthie. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? If you had any conclusive evidence, you could have presented it by now. Well, You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof to get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright? Your Honor? Do you have any concrete proof? I might. But you know what I have definitely is the save button. I'll always have that. Unless I don't. Because sometimes it doesn't work. Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Skye dispose of his body. Do you have any concrete proof? I don't have a choice. Can't let him just squirm his way out of this. I've got to keep the pressure on. Yes, Your Honor. I do have such evidence. Then please hurry up and present it. Just remember, you better prove Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman beyond a shadow of a doubt. There is, like, the other set of fingerprints that we can't even read, right? Like, the ones... The blue right behind the blue badger. But that's not really helpful to me.
I've got nothing. Yeah, I've got nothing for you. Trying to think how I can give you a hint properly. How about I've played this whole case and never saw this part of the trial.
And never what?
That was nothing.
You didn't
Never
solve
saw
this
this part of the trial.
What?
Hmm.
What are we talking about?
I have to prove without a shadow of a doubt that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman.
Yeah, I've never proved that before.
I'm gonna give you a hint called the answer. It's that you don't.
Don't?
No.
Oh, well. Well.
There's really no hint I can give you besides like
Right, so you can't do it.
besides telling you the answer, like you chose the wrong thing.
I tried to be coy about it.
Well, you said I never solved this part. That doesn't tell me anything. That's just
Well, I said
nothing.
I'd played the whole. I said I'd played the whole case, and I never proved that.
Well, it didn't sound
I
that way
guess
when you
that's
said it the
nothing.
first time.
You did say that.
Yeah.
The first time you said I never solved this part, I was like, oh, that's not helpful. It's no use showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor, at present I have no conclusive evidence. See, Aji. That case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief. What? I don't gamble unless the stakes are high. Seems that Lady Luck is on my side again today. Okay, Aji, I'll leave the rest to you. Dematerializes.
Fades away.
I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency. What? Lady Luck. Maybe we should have a word with her. Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony. A lady who knows the truth. Another witness. In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony. But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify. Come on, Phoenix, use your brain. There's still someone else. One more witness who can
buddy.
answer all the
You can do
questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person? Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today. But right? Does such a witness exist? May not be willing to tell the truth. We can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth Meg Meekins.
Your mom.
The defendant. Miss Lena Sky. She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task? Dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with someone's orders. Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in 3... Hold on. Huh? Chief Gant, I thought you were going to eat. Listen good, Lana. Talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claim, there will be terrible consequences.
You can't just threaten her in front of everyone.
That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. This isn't good. Of course, you'd never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. Alright then. We'll get a lunch date to meet. Blinking. Okay. If there aren't any further objections, the court is now in recess. Good God. Andrew. I can hear myself through Zag's microphone.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that was muted.
Oh.
Alright, defendant
My
lobby number 2. Looks like we managed to stay in the game. Yeah, thanks to your help, Edward. And then he gives him a little smooch. That chief. He's
Wow.
something else, eh, pals? Detective Gumshoe! I'm not a detective anymore. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Ah, don't worry. I've already decided where to work now. At your office. He's gonna be my buddy! My office? Sure. I'll take the place of that top-notted girl who you used to work with. Aya? Still, looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gant's done it again. How is it he always gets the upper hand? It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify. Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said? But Chief, that is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. Risks? What did he mean by that? It's simple. If the Chief refuses to testify, the opposite of also holds true. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything he wants to? Emma! Are you okay? Yeah. When I came to, I was in the medical office. Listening to the trial from the gallery. So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, sorry for what I said before. No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved. Relieved? Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened. I think all it was time. My sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she'd changed. Perhaps it's easier that way for her. What do you mean? What do you think I mean? With all of Chief Gant's orders. Must have shut herself up deep inside. Forced herself to do anything and everything she told her to do. That must be why she became so cold. It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal. Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor. I see. Well, we better get back. Time for the final act. Emma, why don't you wait? No. I'm going with you. I want to be there. Atlanta tells the truth. Let's go, Wright? Time to end this. Continue. Yippee! The final act. Finally. February 25th, 2:21 p.m. District Court, Courtroom number 9. Now then, will the defendant, Miss Lanisky, please take the stand? Miss Lanisky, you are the chief prosecutor. Sure you're aware of what is required of you. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all I've done in the past 2 years. Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you are under oath. You want to hear the truth. Of course, the truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Gant. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant. And yet she's still gonna tell lies, isn't she? Or just like admit everything. I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to his blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dart convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Are you sure about this testimony? Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lana! If this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this. That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. What if she's telling the truth? not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony. Yeah, no time to start second-guessing myself. Defense may now begin its cross-examination. Gant and the fabrication. Worked alongside Gant for years. The truth is blackmail theory. But think about it, Miss Sky. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail. You don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? Any testimony you cannot present in court is useless and idle gossip. That one hurt. Idle gossip, I tried to say. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. And I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. Did you do so to help your sister? Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life. What she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything. That's not the point. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. Anna. That's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago? When I found the prosecutor marshal's body, I rearranged the crime scene. You say you did this all by yourself? Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? Seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body. What? The prosecutor marshal died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation where dream was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. You can decide all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement. You mean, Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark? Something like that. That is so. What happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away by the struggle. Not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies. All just to protect me. So when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. Yes. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, and then moved the body. You planted the tip of Dark's knife in the victim's wound? And then you moved the body? But why? How would you do that? Football people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders. My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of others. I mean, she planted the knife to frame Dark, but why did you move the body? When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body? It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple. Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Sky moved the body. The pieces of the jar that shattered during the dents threatened my plan. So the jar, yes, that wretched jar Mr. Wright showed us earlier. In order to show that Dark committed the crime, I thought it would be more expedient to move the body. So, when you first found the body, the jar was already... Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you look at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Gail Marshall was dead and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during the struggle. B. What's the matter, Emma? Apparently the jar shattered at the time of the crime was committed, but I have a feeling there is more to it than that. There must be a contradiction here somewhere. Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. You rearranged the crime scene. Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like a murderer? How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. Period. You're desperate to hide that fact. You're willing to risk the death sentence. He's lying, just so I wouldn't be blamed for what happened. In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. That's enough for now. I'm gonna win the case for you, as I have to. This one's for you. Picks the wrong evidence. There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Mr. Wright, my sister's lying. But she's determined to protect you in the end. She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself. There's no way she could have done it alone. Not to get Lana to talk more. If she's lying, then she's bound to slip up into a contradiction. It's all about those yummy contradictions. I don't remember what she said about the jar. She said that the jar being there was like it would show that there was a struggle, and she was trying to show that there wasn't, at least not over there with the jar where there was a struggle. Press it again, because I need to remember what she said. To the jar. The jar was shattered at the time the crime was committed, but I feeling there's more to it than that. Yeah, but he'd written Emma on the jar. That's my current issue.
Right.
But this isn't gonna do anything probably. Oh god.
Okay, so right evidence, wrong statement is
Of
what
course.
I'm saying there.
This statement?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, well, I hate it when, like, you're on the right track, but it's like, no.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like, come on. This guy, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. Before there in the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered. If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been useless. Even so, I am compelled to bring everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony. A contradiction in my testimony? You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan." That's right. You have a problem with that? It's a simple oversight, really. The message was written on this jar with the victim's blood. Yes, the prosecutor must have written in his final movements. Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, he must not yet have been broken before he died. Ah. He couldn't have written his name on a shattered jar. Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here. Something critical. Chief Prosecutor, seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards we're headed. Wait, about the truth towards which we're headed. That makes more sense. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well. The witness may now continue her testimony. Jar and message in blood. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. Okay, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got all. Wait. The fragments are large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. You mean you were the one who wiped away this message in blood? I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. I didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. I immediately noticed the blood traces in the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. Dave, I wiped away the blood. I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what actually happened. What do you mean? You really thought Dark killed Prosecutor Marshall. You wouldn't have wiped away the blood. What else could I have done in that situation? Lana, I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces. But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office. A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. Even I carry my bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go. I never miss anything. I got every last piece. You didn't, though, is the thing. So. Well. I have proof that you didn't get them all. It's right here. Am I supposed to present that right now? I don't know.
Hell yes, you are.
Yay! Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of. What? Found the final piece of the jar in Chief Gant's safe. In the Chief's safe? But how? I knew it. Really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about the final piece. There was no blood on it. But the witness just testified. She gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you. But couldn't the defendant have simply missed the piece? I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. And I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Ha! Can you believe that? He's normal. Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Oh, that. There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not applying this person to Chief Gant. At the time, he was looking at the Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, how would he break the jar? The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide the fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? Ah! No! No, I can't. Wait, I'm not the one on trial here. On trail. Get him. Get him. Typos.
Typo.
Get him.
I'm
Somebody get
getting
that.
him.
Oh, you gotta get him.
Got him.
Good. Jim again arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar, and purposely hid one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called? Fabrication. But why would Chief Gant do that? In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear what happened afterwards? Covering the scene, Lana Sky believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And here is the reason. The reason why Miss Sky became the Chief's puppet. No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients.
Dude.
Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients. Get him. Get him. Get him.
Getting them. Got him.
Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client. I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth.
Dude.
Wait a minute. What if... we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap? Something wrong, Mr. Wright? Lana. Maybe right after all. What do you mean, right? Then you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright? Miss Skye, please testify once more. But evidence was fabricated behind your back, and Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall. Miss Skye, if you will. I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth. Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw. Alright. The witness may testify once more for the final time. Oh, please. Please be telling the truth. Actual crime scene. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor's sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent. Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armor's sword? You're the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. What? To me? The picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed. But I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright really does have faith in you. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture. I remember receiving any pictures from Lana. Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right? I seem to remember getting something from her then. Let's check that evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere. Did you put it in the book? Oh my god! Hey, there's a picture here. Huh. She does always carry a camera and a light on her, so... Oh my. This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this. That's because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I everything. Mr. Wright! That piece cut out from his vest. Is that me? Tossed it down inside Chief Gant's safe. What's this? It's a handprint. That cloth had fingerprints on it. Whoever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer. What? Those fingerprints are yours, Emma. Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright? Didn't hear that one. Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, you should be able to flush out the real murderer. Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor. Hold it! Hello. You're not allowed to come
This
back here.
motherfucker.
Come now, Edgy. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. You can't. What, now you want to make me the big bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. Afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined testimony. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. Must be the risk the judge was talking about. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. He's so funny.
Wow.
He's so funny. I like him. So what? Think I'm worried? Think you're a little worried. Sorry to disappoint you. But I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't. But someone does. Someone? So then, what's your excuse, Righto? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is it true, Mr. Wright? If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer, and we're gonna save the game because he's making me nervous. Phoenix loves to say stuff to me that makes me scared.
This team loves to do that.
Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. And if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. What do now? Better think this through carefully. Can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall? I don't know. Let's see what happens if I do. Yes, Your Honor. I do have further evidence. Alright, the time's finally come to show it to them. Those prints have got to be the Now then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. Well, it's right here. That's a piece of leather clothing. Yes, it most likely was cut from the victim's vest near his chest. What's this? There's a big handprint on it. Surely it must have been left on the cloth by whoever shoved the victim into the sword. What? Whose fingerprints are on this? I'm sure Righto has checked, haven't you? Well, whose are they? They're Miss Sky's. Emma Sky's. What? They're mine? But I really did do it. See? I told you it was conclusive. That doesn't make it conclusive, you're just annoying. But this was found in your safe. That means it's possible you forged it. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember any cloth in my safe. You really expect me to believe that? But give it up, Mr. Wright. It's over. You shouldn't have presented that. By presenting that evidence. Tied Emma Scott and Neil Marshall's death. No. It appears we have our killer. No. No. Everything hinged on that point. End. Lena was found guilty. Guilty! The end. We lose.
Wow. If you hadn't saved, I was gonna warn you not to pick that, but since you saved...
I just wanted to see what he would say. I better think real good. Did I present that piece of evidence? A little bird named Miles Edgeworth told me not to. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You lie. You can't? You opened my safe. I know you took what was in my safe. Wait, no, I know you took what was inside. I'm like mixing lines up. The conclusive evidence. I don't know what you're talking about. See, now we can play this game. Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? Got it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. Talking about, Chief Gant. Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. The victim's vest. Notice anything odd about the chest area? It looks like part of it's been cut for some reason. You mean you have this in your safe? What? That means you, the chief of police, concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Righto. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. What? You mean, you admit to it? I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. You really were manipulating her. I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay over her sister, that when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid. So you assisted Miss Skye. I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant a knife tip in the victim's body, and move the body across the room, and I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dart convicted. When we rearranged the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. I did this before Lana arrived at the scene. 2 pieces of evidence. In those items in your safe. But why? For insurance, of course. Insurance. I was sure my plan would work, but it's best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this shard fragment? I hid the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Len to go and wipe the blood off of the pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on the shard, too? Oh. Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean that piece of cloth? Come on, Righto. Cough it up already. I know you have it. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? To admit to it, then, you can't. That you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe. Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that being chief and all. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Righto. Should have shown it before when it... Should have shown it then before it was too late. It's been a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. I mean, he has already admitted to hiding it, so I think it's time to show it off, right? Like,
Hell yeah.
Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now. Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. It's this guy right here. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest? Oh, yes. At last, you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. Handprint on the leather. There must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly. You mean, it could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. Oh. You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy. What? Think about it. Wright had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that? Mr. Wright, do you really know? Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well. I'll tell you. You'll be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. The person whom these fingerprints belong to are... Vacant. Man. Emma? Emma Sky? What? They're mine? Sorry, Emma. Why? Why didn't you tell me? Oh. You're really something, Righto. You knew this girl did it all along. You still tried to pin the murder on me? That's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death. How could you? You monster! Sky. You knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't. Miss Sky. It's not over yet. What? I said this trial isn't over yet. Ah, I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career, too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer? Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh? And what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Sky, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible. See, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about? I'm talking about a contradiction.
This, bro, I'm gonna go boil pasta.
Have fun.
Okay.
What that
Have
proves
fun.
who the real killer is.
You all with me, and I'm putting Phoenix right into the pot with the pasta.
Go ahead.
No.
Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth. What could possibly contradict? Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. I know what it is. Do you know what it is?
I do.
That's his back.
Hang on. Hang on. Hang on.
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
I am, but you don't know the real answer.
Arrest him.
What was that, Orion?
I said that it was because he was facing away, and she wouldn't have pushed his front. Well, then why not?
Look at the picture.
Wait, what?
No,
picture?
not that one. The
Picture?
photograph. Mm-hmm.
Look at this photograph.
Every time I do it, makes me.
Look at the blood.
Oh, there's no blood on it. There's blood underneath where it would have gotten.
Mm-hmm.
Do I just present the picture?
Yeah, you can do that.
Oh. And what exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of his vest was cut out? Yes. His shirt is showing underneath. Hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. It's only natural. His lungs, no doubt, were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Oh, but that piece of cloth... Wait. There's no blood on it. Ah! Since Emma Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword. No, this is nonsense. Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. Most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Sky picked up the unconscious prosecutor and impaled him on the armor's sword? Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, that person decided to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. Then he broke the jar on purpose to leave behind a clue, and make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of cloth? This bloodless piece out of the victim's vest? Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. No! Finished. He's so sick! Oh, that was close, Wright. You almost had me. Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations. You can't. You literally can't. What do you mean refute his allegations? See, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence. Order, order. What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict the suspect. Remember, Edgy? Earlier, old Wright here concealed that piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Wright-O? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you? Your Honor, I don't have any evidence that can present at this point in time.
This point in time, huh?
Well, that's true. Defense did refuse to present evidence. At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. But that's not fair. Ooh, 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 ooh. Do you actually think you could best me in court? Looks like the last laugh's on you, son. Judge says nah. I'm afraid Mr. Grant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal. Well, Mr. Wright? It seems at last, time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. Mr. Wright, you admit to it, that you purposefully and illegally concealed this piece of cloth?
Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh. Certainly, I refuse to present this evidence at one point. Haha, the evidence is legal. No, it isn't, Mr. Gant. Huh? It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean you couldn't? There are certain procedures involved in presenting evidence. No, Unji, don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a coward. You can't let him. There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence illegal or not? Very well. Let us settle this once and for all. Earlier you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not a violation of the law, then do so now. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? See, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of cloth myself. Inside your safe. It goes without saying, I did not have approval from the police department. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case in trial. And, here is the crux of the matter. You see, at the time, it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the outside incident. What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and...
That cloth ain't in that picture.
Sorry, but can you recall when was that picture presented? That was shown only a few moments ago. No. Right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest. Oh yes. No. It was then that you proved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer. And there's only one person who that could be. Damon Gant. The killer was you. He thinks it's so funny. He thinks it's so funny that it hurts my eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. They love to have flashing lights in this game.
I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years he's been snooping around the department, trying to get something on me. I mean, you did kill his brother, like that was the thing that you did.
Yeah, like you literally did that.
Crimes are being committed every day, yet you insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Starr, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman? Yeah, that's right. If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you've got to help me. Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden he had to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. And then I killed that guy. He told me to open up the evidence room and take it out. Not too late. I'll hand this to Marshall. Well, to be honest, I was a little panicked too. I had a bad feeling about it, but never knew it would come to this. That's when I saw it. That accursed knife. Couldn't just pull it out. It could only increase the amount of blood, and you couldn't finish what you started. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I was wiping it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my mistake. Detective Gumshoe's bloody handprint. I used to be known as the crime computer. Everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it. Then you put the body in my car. I'm sorry. We couldn't think of any other way to move the body. We broke the trunk. What's the big deal? You pulled down a lot more than us detectives. What does this have to do with anything? You're horrible. How could you get this guy involved in all this? Well, she had as much to lose in it as I did if the truth came out. But you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker? I feel bad for having to do it. I couldn't sit around and pick and choose what to take. Well, you left the jar fragment in gloves. Yeah, Looks like I was better off being investigator of crimes than a committer. Looks like you're better off going to jail and dying, dude.
Mm-hmm.
They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy. What are you doing in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it. For me, we're the same.
No.
You're literally a criminal. And he is not. One day you'll understand. You want to take them alone. You'll figure out what's needed. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Hudgy. What? Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend. I'm sorry too, Damon Gant. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator, an example of others on the force. Sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Those days are gone now, Udgy. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Wright here, and Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. See, if I listen carefully, I can hear it right now. The sound of a new beginning. I think that's the electric chair, man. They're firing it up just for you. There are two things I want you to
Just fuck
understand.
that bad boy.
Yeah, right? Yes? First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gant betrayed you from the beginning. Demon Sky. You no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years, the time I had Gant help me forge evidence up until today. So, seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Sky. Couldn't get you out of all your trouble. My. What high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows? A few years from now, just might make it to the top. Smiling! I owe you my thanks. Right. Sky. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing. Fire. I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop it. I only did my job. He's shy. In light of this case, it seems good self-examining is in order for all of us. Sky. Yes, Your Honor? You are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact that you still acted as an accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date. Yes, I understand, Your Honor. Is there something amusing about all this? Why are you smiling? It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains. Well, this trial has gone on far too long already. You're telling me.
Yes.
Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lena Sky, caught guilty. Yay!
Gumshoe's special confetti.
That is all. The court is adjourned. That took them 7 hours. At long last, it's finally over. Emma? Why the long face? Sorry your sister was completely off the hook. But at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit. No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended, I can see why me and Faye thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well. You know, I did my best too, but Lana didn't say a single word to me. Hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Hey, buddy.
I'm obsessed with him, he's so funny. Oh. Guess I am. I'll come back later. Dad.
I would love to talk to you, you just have terrible timing.
Oh, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making the detective run around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals. This is the exact lines that he said last time he did this, by the way. So, you guys get to miss that? It's back. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding. Oh, are you here because of my sister again? Nope, not this time. I came today because of you, pal. Me? That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone. Lana! Should you be doing this? You're still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you won't. Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it. That day 2 years ago was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess. Sis, I asked Gant to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake. But now, I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No. Huh? I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you. Sis, I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now. You're happy? Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Oh, Emma. Emma. Smiling! Hugging! No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make it up for our mistakes. Why must we make for our mistakes, you ask? Because in so doing, we can find the way back to our path. And once we've found our path, we can move on from our past mistakes toward a brighter future. Thanks, Phoenix, for that enlightening little speech you did. At least that's what I felt looking up at the two sisters make up. Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe, me? Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? Edgeworth? Stop hiding and come over here. He's shy! He's shy and introverted.
Mm-hmm.
Where was he hiding? I just came to say, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Right. Well, I'll be going now.
Bye.
Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realized today that I can't change my own mistakes. Mr. Edgeworth. Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right. Don't let him get in your head! You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day, you'll understand. If you want to take them on alone, you'll figure out what's needed. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime alone, one needs a weapon. It's scary, but I've been thinking the same thing for quite some time now. But Edgeworth, who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. They killed people. You said in order to fight crime alone, one needs a weapon. That may be right. But think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright. And because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Huh? What? Oh, yeah. What is the pop quiz? Come on, Mr. Wright. I don't know what man is talking about. Oh, not this again. Don't do this to me again. Remember last time you guys did this to me?
Mm.
Oh, no. Evidence that neither Edward nor I would be able to find on our own. The Blue Badger. Truly. Evidence that they need to find together? Is that what this is?
Yep. Mm-mm.
Is it the evidence list?
Is that... It sure fucking is.
Because they put it together because, it's a metaphor, you see.
Yeah.
That's the picture I drew. Our counterattack began with this. You had one half of the evidence, and I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to complete your story on this picture. I'm so smart. That didn't just happen by chance, Edgeworth. It's time for me to go. Mr. Edgeworth. If you'll excuse me, there's still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. Edgeworth! What will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember, what happened in this trial can either make or break you as a prosecutor. In the end, it's up to you. I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, right? Why does he gotta make this stupid face? But what I face now
I like his silly
is my
faces.
problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court. Farewell. Wow, that was weird. I better be getting back too. Okay, I'll come visit you. It seems you both still have a lot to learn. Here, this is a little something for you. Scientific investigation? It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis. I will. And so, another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. They said their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. I really like this. I like that Edgeworth was last.
Yeah, and right in the middle of the screen.
A journey to rediscover myself.
I'm going back to art school.
Don't go trekking off just yet, pal. Huh? What is it, detective? It's just a little matter of being told about the chief prosecutor. see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this. But you said it was okay. Yeah, well, maybe okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story. Oh,
shoot!
Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. Huh? Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side. Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Wright here is the one who's been putting the bill. Huh? Huh? What, you think I could afford that with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal. What?
You think I can afford it with
Thank
mine?
you, Mr. Wright, you're the best. Why is it I suddenly feel like I want to scream? Since we're all here, why don't we all go together? Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go. Why's the objection button up there?
To press.
Like right now?
Yep.
I can yell it. Or I can press it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I can't press it. They don't want me to press the button. Can I just... No, they won't let me use the blow.
Uh-oh.
I can't do this! Why
Uh-oh.
didn't they give me an option to just press the button?
Shit.
Never mind, I just had to press the A button.
There we go. Oh.
Now it's time for the credits. I arranged for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of Emma. She's a coroner. I think Emma will be pleased. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office. Still, I will manage to find my way back to the field somehow. Then, I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. This is a fun little outro. A little credits scene. Yikes. I thought I was a goner for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation of Chief's office. If we penalized you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. It just goes to show. Can't shake me off that easily. He said, you can't fire me, I'm Gumshoe.
You can't take me out of the series. I'm a fan favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves Gumshoe.
Mm-hmm. Meekins, my new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them, though. Someday I'm going to make detective. Yes, sir. Then I can be just like Dick Gumshoe. He wants to be just like Gumshoe!
Mm-hmm.
Meekins is just like me for real.
Yeah.
If we don't get to have a little short conversation with Edgeworth, I won't make it. Phoenix. Thank you for showing me the Blue Badger. Oh no, his batteries died!
Yep. And there's something I can't remember if it happens at the end of this game or at the start of the next one.
Hey Marshall, what is
Hi,
it?
Marshall.
Can't you see I'm having a showdown with the steak lunch partner? This star managed to sneak this into me. Just seeing one of the guards, it seemed. Well, cowboy, looks like you did it. You even gave Bambina back her smile. Make sure Billy and the gang get their water. I don't know who
It took
Billy
me a
is.
second to remember that Billy is the cactus.
Oh. Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. Why did you do it that way? As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu, the Right Way lunch. Top layer tastes bitter in defeat, but the bottom layer is as sweet as victory. Kids seem to dig the turnabout bean. It's a hot seller around exam time. Just make sure not to eat it backwards. Okay. Thanks.
Thanks, Angel.
I'll never forget what that young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Lift? Anyway, you said he's been doing something or other for how many years? Well, anyway, I've got another trial to get to, so I better be... Huh? Oh no, I forgot my gavel. Sorry, gotta go. Ah, nothing soothes the soul like fresh country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing Nick and his objections. Still, I can't go back until I'm full-fledged spirit medium. Hiya, afternoon training's about to begin. Coming! Well, see you around, Nick. I don't even know, like, who is going around talking to these people if the judge couldn't even remember who he was, and Maya said, I miss Nick. Oh, bye, Nick. Like, what?
Don't worry about it.
Edward. Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth? I brought you your tea. What's going on?
Hey, trigger warning real quick.
What? Oh, okay. For what?
Wait.
You can't just say that.
Yeah.
I can pause it. What's gonna happen?
I can't figure. Well, trigger warning is more important than spoilers, isn't it?
It's the credits of the game. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah. Well, pretty major, but he's gonna find a note that says Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death.
What? Thanks for coming to see me off.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book.
But yeah, you'll look at the back of it.
Letter. Oh, wow!
Aww, that's cute. That's really cute.
Cat Plum. Nope, you lied to me.
Yeah.
Trigger warning for a thing that doesn't happen.
Well, I mean, it does happen, but
It's in one of the games.
it's in the next game.
Now we play the game in French.
Wow.
Kidding.
You need to go eat dinner.
My dad's not home yet, so there's no dinner for me.
Oh god. They're never gonna feed your ass.
Nope. But that's it. And now, it's the end.
We beat it for real this time.
We beat the game for real!
Not just the joke we always make.
Thank you to everyone in the world. Just Nightbot J, because you know how it is. Which is sick.
You know how it is with the stupid credits.
Thank you, too.
I wasn't there when you hit the roll credits button, so.
Just now.
Yeah. Because I left to make pasta.
Oh, yeah.
So I wasn't in the chat because I was on mobile.
I'm pretty sure it saves it because it does like the activity, like if someone follows or anything, that'll show up.
Yeah, but I don't know. If I'm in the chat when you roll the credits, then it shows me, and if I'm not in there, then it usually doesn't.
Yeah. Whatever. I can thank you by myself. Thank you to Smiley, Jay, Zag, and Nick.
Of course.
We had some friends here. We had Allie. We had Pandora showed up for a little bit. Casey was here. Yeah. Good day.
It was awesome.
Now we'll play a different game next week. The game, you ask? Professor Layton and the Diabolical Box.
Yay!
Soul Eater Battle Resonance!
It can be Soul Eater Battle Resonance for the low, low price of 50,000 banana chips. Because if you pick game of my choice, I am picking Soul Eater Battle Resonance. There's no other option. If I pick any other game, assume that I am dead.
What am I supposed to do about that?
Assume
Game
that
of
someone has
my
taken my
choice.
place.
Game of my choice. Play Guilty Gear Izuku right now.
You can do that, but not right now because the thing is ended. And by the way, Zag beat me in 8-ball, so.
Hell.
I'm excited though for the next. Well, I'm excited for Layton too, of course, but I'm excited for the next Phoenix Wright game because there's some characters I really enjoy in there.
Even though it's gonna be like 3D or something.
No, this one is still 2D.
Thank God!
It isn't 3D until shoot. Justice for All is 2D. Trials and Tribulations is 2D. Hollow Justice. It might. Wait. No, Apollo Justice is still 2D. I believe Dual Destinies is when they switched 3D.
Whatever.
So you still have quite a few games to go.
As long as it's not yet, I'm happy. But, for real this time. The end. We'll be back with Psychonauts on Thursday. Hopefully we beat that game too. I'm willing to sit there forever and ever to do it because I will once again not have dinner until like 8:30 anyway, so it's fine. And now, goodbye.
Goodbye.